what's up? Welcome to the Lone Wolf Pack. I'm your host, Quinn, and you'll be joining me and the gang today as we go over an interesting topic. A topic talking about if it's all right to be pro-black, but also date outside your race. This is a topic I really haven't seen nobody talk about, and my brother Zeno kind of wants to talk about it. But yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube and you want to leave your comments, questions, or feedback, then please feel free to do so. We'd love to hear from you guys. But yeah, I don't want to waste any more of your time. So with that being said, let's get right into the video.
Can you be pro-black and date outside your race? Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, give me a second.
3, 2,
Hold on.
1.
He trying to think of
Hold
how
on.
he goes.
What the-
So if you agree,
Yeah.
say it again.
Okay.
Can you be
Be
pro-black and date?
outside your race.
So if you agree that you can be pro-black and date outside your race, you would be a 5
or okay, and you disagree.
or
Okay,
4,
okay.
blah blah blah.
All right. I'm slow, guys. All right. 3, 2, 1. I knew fucking Zeno. I knew fucking Zeno was good. I knew it. Okay, hell yeah. All right.
So
go first.
I'm gonna go with my stance. So like, I definitely consider like myself pro-black. In my living room, there's a Pan-African flag. I don't think pro-black means you're anti something else and all this other shit. But if I'm just being realistic with myself, if I hear someone say that they are pro-black and they date outside their race, I start to question like truly how pro-black
you
are you?
Yeah,
Because I could just go for like myself, right? So of course my preference
because that makes sense.
my preference
Thinking
is
about it.
black women. I want to be with a black woman and all this other
Raise a
stuff.
black family.
But there's also a part where it's just like, if I find someone outside of my race that has the qualities that I'm looking for, would I still go to them, or should I just wait to find the black woman that fits that? And that's like a whole different dilemma and shit.
Yeah.
But it's just like,
That's hard.
I wouldn't want to have a kid that's like, I don't know. Not saying I don't want a mixed kid, but I wouldn't want my kid to say some like anti-black shit, or just like,
Bro,
I don't like black women, or I don't like black women, I like white women or Hispanic women. And it's just like, to me, I'd be like, damn, I fucking failed. But that's just
know what
like
you mean.
me
Yes.
personally, is just like, damn. Because I can explain to them like, hey, I dated your mom because she's a great person. It ain't because she's not black and all this other shit. But then it's just like a little bit like a voice, just like, hypocrite. I don't know. It's just like some weird shit. But I can say I somewhat disagree. I feel like if you are truly pro-black, and then I guess it all would depends on how everyone defines pro-black, you should stay within your race to
You're
create.
professional black. That's
Yeah.
stupid.
No.
No.
But you should want to maintain that. So like, I go back to
Black people first. I think pro-black.
going back to like black people, like celebrities, right? They would say like, once these niggas make it, they start dating white women or going outside their race, and
Bro,
they're leaving
thank
these like good sisters behind that would treat them just as well and all this other shit. And it's just like, of course, I'm not fucking rich, and I don't have all this type of shit, but I wouldn't want that to be like, I'm leaving behind my women, if that makes sense. So it's just like,
Yeah.
but I do know a shitload of pro-black people that have dated outside their race, and their focus is still to,
black community.
keep the community moving in a forward way. They just happen to date outside their race. But
Okay.
So I strongly agree. I think you can still be pro-black and still date outside your race. I don't like the concept of saying that you're pro-black and staying within that confines of stuff. I don't think that's useful for anybody if you're trying to limit yourself that way. Now, to me, I don't know much about pro-black anything. I'm putting that out there. But I think, at least for me, I you could date whoever you want and still represent your culture. You just need to teach others about it, I guess. Um, Maybe because I'm mixed, I don't have like the same type of thing. Um, but I don't see anything wrong with dating outside your race and still being pro black. You could be pro black everything. It's like I use only black products, buy black people, buy black everything, and still have a white woman at home with your mixed kid,
I'm
and
sorry,
that
that
would
shit
not
sounded
change.
funny. A
I
white
mean,
woman at
yeah,
home.
but
I'm done. You
but
cool.
that it doesn't change anything about you at all as a person. The people, at least for me, I think the people who say that you have to be anything is weird. Um,
Yeah, yeah. People don't have to be pro
I
black
mean,
shit.
but that's just my point of view. I'm coming from a mixed point of view where I don't see it that way at all. You can still support something and still don't have to follow the weird rules and regulations that other people put upon it.
Ashiata?
Yeah, I don't know. It kind of made me think when you say mix, because I don't know. I always feel black. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't.
but your
Yeah,
ass
I,
white.
I, I I
But that's
guess I
everybody.
wanted to like
Yeah,
ask that earlier, like because it sort of makes it interesting, but there is like I don't know, like sort of like the elephant in the room. Like
yeah,
I like you said, you like when you look at yourself, you see more white than black.
Yeah,
Like, but so like how do you identify as a black man or
I
no?
mean, yes, I definitely identify as a black man now. Let me specify that now. A few years ago, I had self-black hate because I didn't know what it meant to be in my own culture, and because nobody ever taught me anything, I had to learn it, from other people who also didn't know anything about it until I met actual black people who do black stuff. You have to be in that culture to actually know what it is. From my point, um, I do identify as black man or mixed. I see myself more as. I don't see myself one or the other that much, but every now and then I will look at my skin. I was like, damn, I really am a white black man, and it's different versus a black white man or a pure black man or a pure white man who grew up in a black family. I had to think about it in different perspectives to understand who I really was, and I think I'm more comfortable with myself now than I ever have been. But I still have a lot to learn. I still don't know what fucking hair type I am. Yeah, I know I've been told multiple times what it was.
Mm-hmm.
uh, I still use really white people product that is probably going to destroy my hair one day. I'm just going to look like a fucked up white Uncle Ruckus. Um, I mean, it's it's weird. I've had to have a self discovery for myself about what it means to be black, and I looked at stereotypes and whatnot. I was like, that doesn't apply to anything because that's just a thing that people thought was real. Um, and then I started just peeking out, little bits here and there. And I don't know, became, I guess, better about who I am as a person while trying to understand myself as a mixed race person in this world. It's hard, especially if you don't have anybody who also looks like you.
Got you. Shadow, what were you saying about the mixed race or whatever?
Yeah, can you be pro
yeah.
black and data? Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel. I don't know. I just feel like I identify with black. I don't know. That's just what I feel like. I mean, like I be forgetting I'm light skinned sometimes. Uh,
Yeah. Figured.
I mean, like I guess when people ask though, I refer to myself. I'm gonna just say I'm black. But if they ask me details on like my heritage, they're like I have some white in me or I have some Indian in me, but it's not something I refer to as like I am of those cultures because I don't know those cultures. I wasn't raised with white people at all. Um, but I don't know. Yeah, I just consider myself black. But What was the original question
The
before?
original question is, can you be
Okay, yeah.
pro-black and date outside your race?
Yeah. I think you can. I feel like I've seen people that have done that. Uh, yeah, that's it.
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
So, for people who are mixed, are they just supposed to date their own races within that said thing?
No,
Or
this question is about being
This
pro-black.
this isn't about
okay,
being mixed or black.
Yeah.
This is like pro-black.
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, I mean, because again, I think some white people can be pro-black and start dating black women, but it'll be odd mostly because it's like those worshiping white people. I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't like
Yeah.
that. So yeah, I just think that'd be a little odd if they do that. But saviors, like whatever the fuck they call them, the white saviors.
white saviors.
But yeah, I at first I was like strongly agree, but then I went to the middle because it obviously makes sense that to build the black community we need again. There's a future. There's a future here. You have more black kids. You educate those black kids who could get into the black community, who could teach those black people, and people relate more to where they're coming from versus, again, white saviors coming in and say, "Oh, we did." So yeah, you raise good, loving black kids that say, "I love black people." Then they can go and show like that love to those black people. But if you sitting there dating a mixed race or even a white woman, and you're like, "Oh, well." It's just easier for them to start leaning into that. Oh, I hate black people. Again, for example, you talk about yourself, David, that you had self black hate. Although that self hate wasn't needed, you still had it. So just because you didn't relate to black people, you didn't have to hate black people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I think it's the same manner that when you're raising people outside your race, it's easier for them to say things like that. It's because me again, I grew up with some self hate, but it wasn't that easy to grow up with because I had to go see these niggas every day. I had to go home and see, and it realized it wasn't even a black issue; it was me being raised and family issue. It had nothing to
Yeah.
do with black people. So that's the thing. Like when it comes to now, again, I'm in the middle because I think converting white people is going to be a big fight in this race because we need to convert a bunch of fucking white people to like, and again, I like how those little niggas be saying niggas sometimes. I was watching them play Call of Duty and like homeboy, you could hear homeboy just was talking like you little white kid. He was just talking, just saying nigga, but the way he was saying, I'm like, he understands black people in a certain way, on a certain scale because he probably have real black friends. And I don't mean those white kids because when we grew up, I don't know what area we was in, but having white friends was also awkward. But now I see these white kids have actual black friends, and it don't be that like, oh, we have black. They don't have to say we have black friends. They literally just friends. And I'm like, damn, that's really crazy. Again, social media do help with that. We didn't grow up with a lot of this shit. But yeah, like I'm seeing a conversion, and again, it starts with kids. So yeah, I think that being pro-black, you should definitely look into dating black people. But if you don't, it is a preference. I would just have questions like why you again I went
would-
from because I don't like none of this. I don't like white people, I don't like black people. I crack up on all these motherfuckers. All of them motherfuckers are really I think that people it gone too far. I'm more so a very neutral human race type of guy. I'm a cop out. That's just pretty much I'm a cop out. Because I need to be able to be mean to black people too, because I'm fucking ruthless towards white people now, and I'm pretty sure I don't want people to be like, oh yeah, it's just like because you're black. No, motherfucker, because I crack up on these motherfuckers real quick too. So I'm like, I think that humans have an issue. I think creating clans is an issue in general. I think trying to factions and different shit like that is an issue, and it doesn't solve the issues later on, but if you're an individual as a person and you realize nobody else is trying to fix the problem, you have to be the one to step up and fix that problem. Me being black, I'm going to date a black woman, not because I'm pro-black, because black women look better. Like, I'm sorry, just they look better, they do better. Shit. So did we get into the big booty part yet? Because yeah.
I think the self-black hatred came from abuse, but I think it also came from just not understanding. Like, nobody around my family talked to me about anything. I was not around. Nobody noticed me.
Black people, though.
Yes, I grew up in a fully black family. Everybody was black. Went to black churches, everything like that. Fully fully black.
Yeah.
And it wasn't hatred like I would move out the way if somebody was coming down the street type of hatred. It was more like I was distant.
Mhm.
I was like, I wanted my space. I didn't fool with nobody like that. I was a quiet kid, had mental issues and all that. You know, all that shit on top of this didn't help nothing. And, you know, it took me a long time to get to this point where I can comfortably say this, that I, you know, grew more into the black thing. But I, you know, still have a lot to learn. And I don't think I've ever dated a black person. Like I've always dated people who are either like,
You don't think, boy?
I mean, I haven't.
Because it wasn't your preference. Just say that. It wasn't your preference.
But yeah, like a few years ago, I remember saying that I used to say I want to date a black woman mainly because I was like, that's not, you know, my type. And, you know, our other brother Chris was like, well, what's wrong with that? And so from that moment, I had to, you know, start branching off. I was like, well, you know, why is this reason and stuff like that? And I just had to like figure it out myself. It's difficult when you don't have anybody to talk to about it who won't understand it the way you understand it.
My therapist would say that's narcissistic. Not just playing. No. Realistically, though, like people do understand that though. That's what I'm saying. You have to be open with that type of stuff because, again, I growing up I only became more self-racist during high school, mostly because I dated a lot of black women. Was fucking a lot of black girls, and my first real just going out saying, okay, I'm going to date this white girl was Katie. My first white girlfriend was Rachel, but just saying, oh, I'm about to date this white girl because she's white was Katie. And and I was like, damn, because I was like, I want to date a white girl that I wasn't just trying to fuck because like fucking them was different, but just dating them was like, oh yeah, it's not no fetishes and nothing. I was like, I really want to date them. And then I realized that just we ain't alike, fam. And so I went to Brie, like date Mexicans. I'm like, yeah, it's not. I can't vibe. I'm like, we just don't. It's not the vibe. But as soon as I date a black girl, it's like click. It just clicks. It happens. It all makes sense. The world has come together. It's yeah. And so I don't know. Like that's what again. I have no self-hate black thing. But again, I'm not pro-black or against black people. I would definitely love a black woman because it makes sense for me. And it matches, like it just feels right. The culture, the understanding, the jokes you can crack with when you're just with another black girl. It's just all the shit just makes more sense. And again, I'm not against white people, but I don't think I'll ever date another white person. I'm sorry, I don't think that will ever fucking happen again. Will I fuck them? Yes, easily. But dating, nah. I definitely wouldn't date him. But fuck him. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, sex is sex. If I'm a best friend with you and we're cool and like we just homies, like yeah, we just fucking. But if you're like, oh sweet, I really love you and I want to date you, I'm gonna tell them straight up. It's just I don't think I would vibe with your family. I don't think we would get along in a long term when it comes to like long term relationships. But I'm like us as friends and keeping those boundaries is cool because it's kind of hard to say nigga around. If I have a girl and I just want to spout out nigga, and as soon as she say that shit, I'm gonna look at her upside her head. I remember Katie had said, like, give me some of that nigga dick. I was like, he got the what? And that was when we were older. This was like we were grown. And so I was like, it's very interesting.
Yeah, that just doesn't sound right.
You chose that word. Like, am I a slave or something? The fuck are you imagining? Like, the fantasies. He's like, oh, if I was a slave master daughter, then I'm sneaking. I don't know about shit. But yeah, it's very
You should look
interesting.
at Childish Gambino comedy where he was saying when he was dating a white woman or he was having sex and she was like, give me that nigga dick. And then he was like, I looked at her and I paused. And he's like, I came so hard. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's I'm like, hey, I'm into role play, but I don't know what's behind that because she was with the guy she's married with now, and she would just always want to go on dates with me and want to fuck whatever. And I'm like, it just became like, why are you doing this? It's because I'm black or whatever, and it's uncool. I was like, I was so mean. Like that's your man probably got a little dick, don't he? And she's like, he probably could beat you up. And I'm like, okay, it's like a little dick ass nigga. And so I was just so mean. But yeah, yeah. I mean, we stopped fucking around after that. But it was like, yeah, I didn't. It was like a weird vibe coming from her. So yeah, but, yeah it's odd.
Big black man toy.
Yeah, but bro, that's basically all it was. I mean, she sent me all kind of news and shit. It's like just she was one of black penises. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with her? So yeah, I think it's really we get fetishized a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it sucks because I mean I feel what Asians go through a lot. I would never date an Asian girl. I used to want to date Asians, but mostly out of fetishes. So I'm like, beyond that, I'm like, I cannot date an Asian person because that shit is so weird. Like, but I can't say I feel they relate more closely to our race than anybody else. Every Asian person I fucked with, and all the Asian people in my family right now that I fuck with, versus the white people and the Mexicans, they act more like niggas. I'm like, oh yeah, bro, we niggas, fam. Like they get the vibe and shit. So yeah, culturally, we have a lot of the same cultures when it comes to Asians, but other than that, I don't. Yeah, yeah. I mean, literally.
To me, I sort of disagree with that statement, but that's only our perspectives and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
if we're tying it closer, I feel maybe it's just like my family. I
The
feel
Mexicans.
like more like Hispanic or Mexicans, just like.
Uh,
But I don't know if like my family is like a traditional like
no.
black family, because like with us it's like unity and sticking together is like super important.
Yeah, no, that's not
But
traditional
I
at all.
don't. Yeah. So maybe it's just I'm the odd one out. But going back to like this whole preference and all this shit, like when I was younger, I didn't have this mindset. Like, uh, I'd be like, shit, I'm dating whoever.
Yeah.
It just elementary, middle school, like black and Hispanic, uh, high school, a black chick. Uh, but I think it was just like I was more like I had the mindset. It's like it's whoever is just like whoever I feel connected to is who I'm going to go for. Going back to like putting race in the shit, like
Yeah.
there's not a lot of at the time there wasn't a lot of black women that I had access to that thought the same way or like the same shit, like camping, like rock music,
Oh yeah.
like anime is
Yeah.
more the other races. So it was just like, oh shit, I see this girl that has the same interests and hobbies as me. Like I'm more open to dating them. But as an adult, like after high school, you just realize like, yeah, they may have like similar interests and similar hobbies, but there's some shit that just
But to them, it's like
they
normal.
yeah, but it's just like there's something that they're missing that
Yeah.
black women have where it's just like a connection and shit. I don't know. It's just like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it just makes it like easier, smoother. Like relationships are already hard, and then I don't like put in the stress of like you could be cool with black people, but you got your family members that are racist and
Yeah.
all this other shit, and it just puts more shit to it. It's just like nah, I I prefer to be with my women. Uh, not saying like if anyone dates outside their race, they're like a traitor or some shit. It's just like nah, you find whoever makes you happy. But going back to the question of being pro black, I would. That's why I was like
It'll be
somewhat
odd.
disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like not necessarily like putting yourself in a box, but it's just sort of like trying to think of like a real world scenario. Like if you're like if you say you are Christian, you are in a way expected to have like you're expected to live like a certain
Yep.
lifestyle. Like if that makes sense. So
Yep.
that's just how I see it with like being pro black. Like you could say, well, I'm for all the people and I buy these black hair
Yeah. Words
products,
mean
but
something. Yeah.
I love this white woman. I'm going to, it's just like I don't know.
Yeah,
But
words mean something. That's the reason why I stopped calling myself a Christian because I do not identify. I don't do those things. Like I love Jesus and all, but you're not about to catch me doing a lot of that shit. So yeah, words mean something. I do not know why people think words can just be fluid. I'm like, no, they can't. We have definition for this shit. So yeah, that's the reason why I'm like, I have to change it. Because pro-black, yeah, if you pro-black, that's literally what it is. Like, you're, um, yeah, you're building for the black community. You're looking for it. Yeah. So, yeah, definitely agree on that. Okay.